Hello folks, and welcome to another video. So guys, in this video I thought I'd share with you a little accessory or a little gadget that I've got to go with my rather aging Slik 88 tripod. So guys, that's the box it's actually come in. So as you can imagine guys, it's not a particularly large accessory, but it's certainly come very well packed. But we're not going to do an unboxing guys, so we don't need that. So this accessory actually comes in two parts. So what we've actually got guys, it's the Neewer DC-38Q quick release plate. As I said guys, it comes in two parts. So that's the first part. So that's the actual plate that we mount to the base of your tripod. I don't know while it's going to focus on it. Hopefully it's going to focus on that part. But that's the bit that we mount to the actual tripod. Very well made. It's sort of an alloy, and basically it's just a little clamp that we mount to the tripod. So that's the bit you go onto the tripod guys. Right, and this is the piece that we mount onto the camera. So what we have there guys is a standard 1/4-20 sort of mount. I don't know, well that's going to focus. A standard 1/4-20 mount there guys. And that's the piece that we mount onto the camera. So guys, what I'm going to do is change over and see if I can do a little overhead shot of the bits and pieces guys. So I'm going to be on, that'll be done on the smartphone, so the audio and the picture will slightly change. But anyway guys, if you just bear with me while I swap over to the other setup. So folks, as you can see, the quick release plate is actually made up of two components. So this part here, this is the bit that fixed to your base of your camera via the 1/4-20 thread, and this piece is the one that you fix to your tripod. So guys, what I'm going to do first is we're going to take a look at the part that you mount to your tripod. So you can see guys, it's pretty sturdy, made of metal, nicely coated in sort of black spray anodized, I don't know. So this part here, this is the actual, this mechanism here is the actual clamping mechanism. So as you can see, that's spring loaded. So you can screw this one out, that's as far as it goes, and screw it back in again. And that grips to the plate on your camera. So as you can see guys, very well you can see in there, but there's some little, I don't know, dovetail V's. So as you screw that in, so this actually bites and grips really well onto the plate on the camera. So I think these actually come in various sizes, but I think this sort of dimension is probably fairly universal. It's probably different sizes, but I think the Arca Swiss plate is a fairly universal sort of size. So I think, you know, they'll fit most of them, I think guys. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they're pretty universal. So that's the plate that you bolt to your tripod, and these little, you can't really see it, but there you can see it there, that little recess there, that has a purpose which you'll see in a moment guys, and there's one there as well. But it's really well made, so that's spring loaded, and these markings are ready, so if you wanted to sort of line it up, if between different shots, you can line it up using these markings there guys. So I'll just put that to one side there. So now what I'll do is take a look at the actual camera plate. So this actually mounts to the base of the camera or camcorder via the little 1/4-20 threaded part there. So as you can see, see in there them dovetails there, or the V slots. That's what actually is used to clamp the whole affair together. So as you remember guys, them slots on here, that's what these are for, which I'll be able to show you in a moment. But that's the bit that actually bolts to the camera. Now these come in different sizes, you can get them quite narrow and quite big, but I think they're all a universal fit pretty much in there. But I think, you know, if you had a bigger camera, you can get bigger ones. These, if you wanted to mount something narrower, perhaps you wouldn't need something so big as that. Right, so what I'm going to do guys, I'm going to attempt to mount that. So one thing you've got to make sure is actually that's up so it clears the bottom. So basically you just drop that into there, and just make sure that's screwed out far enough, and then screw that up there, guys. Now that is clamped really solid, but if you wanted to move the camera, say, because of them little slots there, it only allow it, I don't know why you can see that, it'll only allow it to go so far, so you couldn't actually accidentally slide the camera straight out, or if you tipped it, you know, if you were doing you know, sort of changing the vertical to the horizontal, you know, if you were doing a, you know, sort of portrait sort of a shot, so you had the mount, the head, different angles, so the camera wouldn't actually slide straight out. So that's what that does, guys. So it's very, very, you know, it's a very good design. So that's the actual plate itself. So as I said, that's just a simple, you just basically just do that, guys. I don't know why you can see that, but that just drops in there, and then you just pinch that up, and that's it, and that is good and solid. So as I say, on the bottom, that's just normal 1/4-20 there, guys. So that is the Neewer quick release plate. So this one is that one is the, put it up the right way, so that's a DC-38Q. So that's the actual plate, guys. So it's a pretty standard arca Swiss style, but there you go, guys, that's the plate. So what we're going to do now is actually mount it on the tripod, and we'll have a look at how that's going to work for me. So folks, I just switched over to the smartphone, so the picture might be a little bit shaky as I'm hand holding the phone, but anyway, guys, let's take a look at the Slik's quick release mounting pin or spigot. So this is the actual mounting pin or spigot, I'm not sure what we should call it, but anyway, guys, on the top there, that's the standard 1/4-20 sort of tripod mount, camera mount. Now this piece is just sort of a black plastic. So I just turn it around, guys. I don't know how well it's going to show, but this sort of recessed area here, come change the angle slightly, but that recessed area there, guys, there's a cam that's on the actual mounting plate on the tripod itself, which I'll show you in a moment, but that part actually will lock into this sort of recess here, and when you actually move, oops, a bit wobbly there, when you actually pull the little lever down, it actually pulls it in that direction, if you like, guys. So it pulls the whole of this little pin downwards, and locks anything that's mounted to it sort of tight to the head of the actual tripod or the tripod plate. But anyway, guys, as I said, we'll take a look at that in a moment, but that is the little mounting pin or spigot of the Slik 88 tripod. So guys, we're now looking at the top plate of the Slik tripod. So that's where that little spigot slots in. So what you do is, guys, you can see, and I don't know why this is going to show up, but when we push that in, can you see that pin appearing? We'll pull it out again, the pin will disappear. Yeah. So I don't know why it's going to show up, but that is actually like a cam. Yeah. So what we do is, guys, we drop the spigot in there, and then we snap that shut, and then when we pull that down, it actually pulls that spigot further down into the hole, so basically clamps whatever's mounted to it on this plate. So that's how that works, guys. So I'm going to see if I can actually show you on camera it work. I'm not going to see how well it's going to work, but we'll give it a try, guys. So guys, here we are. That's how you start. So if you can imagine now, I'm going to drop that into there. So there would be obviously a camera or something on top of that. So what we do is we snap that shut. Now what you tend to do is you just got to give it a bit of a pop to pull that up in place. Right now, I don't know why this is going to work on camera, no while it's going to stay in focus. But when we pull this lever down, you see, you can probably see that slightly pulling down into its hole. But that's basically it. So that's how that plate works. And then you just lift it off and pop that back out again. So you'd have that mounted on your camera, drop that in. When the camera's on it, you wouldn't need to actually pull that up, but because there's nothing on this, so that will actually drop right down into the hole. So I don't know why this is going to be in focus, but that's how that works. As I said, you just wind it down and that clamps on there. So that is the Slik's version of a quick release mount. But anyway guys, so what I'm going to do now is hopefully mount the base of the Neewer quick release onto that, and then we'll take a look and see how that works for us. So guys, that was a sort of a close-up view of the Neewer quick release plate. So what I'm going to do now guys, we're going to take a look at the head off of the Slik 88 tripod. So just bear with me a minute guys. So that's the head. So it's sort of a pan and a tilt head. So there's just nothing fancy about that. But this is the area there guys. I don't know while it's going to show up, but this is the area there that we're going to need to concentrate on guys. So as you saw in the video guys, the previous part of the video, that is the spigot, and that sort of drops into there. But so what we need to do guys with this is, while this is going to show up on camera, well, I'm going to mount that. Will go onto there. Let's just actually take the plate off itself. So I don't know why this is going to show up, but that, make that sure it's nice and tight on there. So what we're going to do guys is, that's the tripod head. So I'll drop that into there. Now one of the things I've noticed is that position there, that is going to hit on that because that actually screw is below the level. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful where we actually mount that. So it's going to have to either go in that position there guys, I don't know where that's going to show up, but it's going to have to go into that position there, or maybe like that. It can't go all the way around to that side guys. I don't know why you can see that, because it's going to hit on there. So I reckon for this, I think that's probably the best place to put it. So what I'm going to do is get it nicely, it's going to foul that little lever there, but we're going to have to get, and all we're going to do is guys, is pop that shut and then clamp that down nice and firm. So that's that nicely mounted onto there. Yep, you can see that guys, I don't know where we're actually going to show up. That's nicely mounted onto there. And then with the plate, obviously that can just drop into there and tighten that up. So hopefully, so that's actually mounted on the tripod itself guys, or the tripod head. Now you've got to get it lined up. Alright, one thing I have noticed is that quarter 20 thread there has to be nicely fully recessed in, otherwise it catches on the inside of that, so that's better. So you just got to make sure that's so I'm making sure I'm getting it all nice and set up. So there you go guys, that's it mounted. So hopefully that'll make the it'd be easier to use the tripod guys, because the trouble with that spigot, although it was a sort of a quick release sort of setup, because it sort of stuck out on the bottom of the camera, it wasn't really easy to sort of pack into the camera bag. But at least this piece here we can now leave permanently mounted onto the camera, and it's not going to sort of cause any problems sort of mounted onto the bottom of the camera guys. So that we might leave on the camera, but you can actually buy these also as just separately. I think they come in, I think you can get them as packs of 2 them guys. So the actual plate that you mount on the camera, you can buy that separately. I think at the moment, I did check earlier, and they were about £13 on Amazon here in the UK. I have seen them as low as about £8, depending on whether you can grab one of them lightning deals. But anyway guys, that's the setup. Now I'm going to actually go off and try it now when I do other videos. Now the beauty of this sort of the actual mount itself is it actually also this plate here, so I don't know how well again it's going to show, but this plate here will also fit on the base plate of the tripod which I'm using, the little tabletop tripod which I'm using now. That will actually fit on that, so I can actually swap between this sort of tripod setup and the Slik without having to take that spigot off and mess around with that. So hopefully it'll be easier to swap around, and also I can buy other ones of them that can go on the camcorder or even a smartphone mount. So that's really it, guys. So what that is the Neewer DC-38Q quick release plate. It's based on the Arca Swiss styles, so I think these come in various sizes, and also these come in various sizes as well, guys. But I think the actual dimensions across there, you know, well, that's going to shut, but the dimensions across there, guys, I think are pretty universal. So I think once you've got the sort of mounting plate, I think most Arca Swiss style plates like this will fit on that. As I said, guys, they come in various sizes, narrower or longer, depending on the camera, whether it's a camera or a camcorder that you're going to put it on. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go and have a little practice with that, a little play about with it, and I'll come back to you maybe in a later video to let you know how we got on with it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this one, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye for now.